Oh, we're back for another week of Hammertime Hammer Forum. So, what are we... Yeah, you wanted to discuss New Zealand, right?
Yeah. So it was
or Australia,
sorry. Of the left winning and Harper losing another a bumbling idiot. Howard. Now he's standing alone with George, the bumbling idiot Bush, on Kyoto. But
well, what about France?
Slowly but surely. In France, the French people, they're going to do their thing. They're going to put up with this.
Well, they did their thing this week, and they, for once, the unions held a big protest, and they lost.
No, they haven't lost. They just retreated. But they'll be back. Right? They'll be back because in 1995, the same thing happened. They shut the country down, and these guys...
Well, they didn't get too far this time.
No. Hey,
it's kind of like the coal miners' strike in 1980.
They might have lost the battle, but they haven't lost the war. They were just retreating and strategizing, because in 1995, what was happening in Ontario with the cuts, in France they shut the country down, and that government capitulated, and this guy will capitulate too, because he's eccentric, and he's another Mike Harris, and the people in France will not...
Did Mike Harris capitulate?
Mike Harris is lost between the years. That guy would sell out his own mother, but that's another day. But we're talking about...
How much would he sell his mother for?
I don't know, but...
well, then how do you know he'd sell out his mother?
Just looking at his past record of cutting 40% of the poorest of the poor.
Yeah, if Mike Harris is going to sell out his mother, I'd like to know how much you think he'd sell her for.
You have to ask him, because he has a record of hitting below the belt when you attack the poorest of the poor. And let's congratulate Mr. Rudd, the Labour from the left, beating the Conservatives. And Canada is next with the NDP Jacqueline government, and bringing Kyoto into line.
I don't know. The latest polls show the Liberals giving the...
shot right now. But the Liberals, they had 3 majority government. Dion was in the cabinet.
But they're still ahead.
Greenhouse went up 34% under the Liberals. And the Conservatives, they're capitulating. They're saying, if no one else does it, we're not going to do nothing. That's not showing leadership. So, Mr. Harper, you're not up for the job. Mr. Dion, you're not up for the job. So Mr. Jacqueline will be the next Prime Minister of Canada, because people care about the air they breathe, the water they drink, and they care about their kids and their grandkids, and that's why they'll vote New Democrat, because what Mr. Harper is doing is playing politics, and he's playing for his big corporate pals in the oil fields in Alberta. And people are not going to buy that, and the people of Alberta are...
Okay, I'm going to ask you, since you said he's playing for his big corporate oil pals in the Alberta oil field, can you name one?
Oh, there's Esso, there's Shell, there's all these companies that he deals in private.
But they're not individual.
Come out in public and tell me. But if you're going to tell me he doesn't, then I'll sell you swampland in Florida. So let's not kid ourselves. Mr. Harper is in bed with the big oil companies by giving them a tax cut and big banks of $14 billion.
Hold on.
Meanwhile,
hold on a second.
Infrastructure problems. The cities and mayors, $123 billion.
So you're saying he's in bed with big oil?
Big oil. And
now hold on a second.
They could have took
let's look at Harper's record for the last. Let's look for the last 2 weeks.
It's a disgrace.
Okay, in the last 2 weeks, or the last month, the NDP put forward and abolished the Senate bill.
It's always been
that the Tories, they seem to have worked out with the Tories in advance.
No.
Then they hold on. They've also, the NDP in the, we're doing, and I'm not complaining, but we're doing this thing on Bednor together. But the point I'm getting at is, it sounds to me like Harper's in bed with Layton.
No, this has been our policy since,
are you denying?
Since 1972, 1961, when the party was formed.
So you're denying that the Tories and the NDP are working together on the Senate?
If Mr. Harper is agreeing with our policies, then that's good, because that's the party that should be in power. And Mr. Harper,
okay, so if he agrees with NDP policies, you think that Harper should be in power?
Mr. Harper should step aside. That's what he's saying, that Jack is right on that issue and all other economic issues, which Harper is offside, and he's going against working families, and he's going in the wrong direction. Then people have a logical and a precise
What's a working family?
Working families are people who are working class, individuals, families.
Okay. What income bracket?
From probably 35,000 up, or 20 to 40,000 or 50,000 up.
Okay, so
and these people.
So under 35,000 is not a working family.
No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that working families are getting squeezed, and meanwhile, big oil and big banks are getting the big tax breaks. Meanwhile, they don't need it because they got their own money to create jobs. And meanwhile, it should be going towards small businesses that create 80% of the jobs. And the breaks should go to the forest companies that are making no money. Because if you're not making no money, they don't pay no tax. So how's this tax break going to help them? And now all of a sudden, Flaherty's feeling the heat, saying, "Oh, geez, well, on the budget in March," but it'll be too late. There's been, I think, over 200,000 manufacturing jobs lost since October till now, and it's losing jobs almost every day, every week, every month. And instead of capitulating, he should be doing that right now, giving these companies these breaks for purchasing stuff. So this way they can offset the layoffs and stop the layoffs from the bleeding. But the Tories are, the market, let the market, and if working class people lose their jobs, too bad. As long as the rich, our friends are okay, then hell with you, because that's how their actions have shown that. They're not for the working class, they're for big business, big bank, like the Liberals under Paul Martin, when it took an NDP, Jack Layton NDP bill C-148 to correct a $6.4 billion tax break, and he put it into working class people's needs, like tuitions, and the environment, schools, roads, bridges, or whatever. But the NDP was towards working class people and people in general. The Liberals and Tories, blue and blue light, they're the same. They'll never change. And the only way things are going to get done, when we elect an NDP government like they did in Australia with a Labour government and an NDP Labour government in Canada, then we'll start seeing positive results in Kyoto, infrastructure, helping seniors, getting increase in their GIS, cuts to tuition fees, fixing our roads, creating jobs, and that's what the NDP is all about, because their record speaks for itself. They have a history, Medicare, unemployment insurance, old age pension, everything progressive, every proactive. Liberal Conservatives fought everything that the NDP brought in this country. So those two parties, Liberals, Conservatives, are now relevant. NDP are relevant. When the Liberals say and the Conservatives say the NDP are not relevant, then they're just telling you a joke.
If the NDP are relevant, how come they're not breaking 20% in the polls?
Because people being brainwashed by big business. Who owns the TV stations? Multinational TV stations. And who hires the reporters? And where do they slant? They always talk about Liberals, Conservatives. But
can you give me the example of
if they were fair reporters, they would talk about all three political parties.
Can you give me an example of a big media that slanted against the NDP?
I'm not going to mention no names. They know who they are. They know who they are. People know who they are. And I'll leave it at that. A nice try, Pete, but that's good. You're a witness, Counselor. Nice try. Nice try.
Okay. So we don't know who the media are, but they know.
We know, Pete. But
well, I don't. I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
I'll tell you Swampland in Florida if you don't know. You know what I mean? People know.
Well, I know Florida better than...
Let me put it this way. The three major TV companies in Canada, and people know who they are. I ain't going to mention the names.
Oh, okay.
Because they can read between the lines. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Sounds good.